a pod for you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
And welcome everybody to another episode of Plotaholics Live. This is not the Plotaholics mini reviews. What has happened?
Oh my God!
Terrible mistake has happened.
You know what? Producer Steve is fired. As of today.
A terrible mistake has happened.
Oh, Producer Steve.
Producer Steve is fired.
He is fired. F you, Producer Steve.
Well, Brian, we're here.
Yes,
while we're trying to track down Producer Steve, we are here really this week to talk all things D23.
Yeah, it turns out, it does seem that today's episode is going to be very D23 specific.
Yes. And, when we got to San Diego Comic-Con, right, we were unsure of what we would get. And it turns out we didn't get much outside of Marvel laying out a whole lot of stuff. It seems like, it seems like we've gotten way more.
Hey, Anita. Hey-o.
In terms of news out of D23.
Which we knew we would. We knew that Marvel wasn't going to blow its entire wad on just, San Diego Con, because San Diego Con is a big deal, but D23 is the big tuna when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah, why would you give all of that news and all of that publicity to an event that you didn't even own, right?
Exactly. And I was a little disappointed because I was waiting for Marvel to come out and say that Disney and Sony had kissed and made up. The fans' outrage had won out, and Spider-Man was going to be in the MCU. But sadly enough, that's not the case. And it even sounded like Tom Holland and Kevin Feige both sort of bid farewell to Spider-Man in the MCU, which it's kind of sad, but I'm still of the attitude that we've got plenty of time before the next Spider-Man even comes out. So there's plenty of time for them to fix this.
I think that you're right, and I only worry that in the meantime Sony's going to screw it up.
Of course they will. It's Sony. The only good thing they've done with Spider-Man is
give him to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, pretty much. Because Into the Spider-Verse was great.
Yeah,
but even to quote the great Wesley Snipes, even the sun shines on a dog's ass some days.
Yeah,
and but I am excited. There was a little tidbit of news on
Joe, we are going to. Joe thinks we're wearing black. I'm actually wearing green. You just can't tell.
Yeah, I'm wearing black because I didn't feel like getting undressed from work. So
we are going to the funeral of the Sony Marvel partnership.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, the one good thing that it seems like Sony has done is that I found out today that they confirmed that Woody Harrelson is going to be Cletus Cassidy in Venom 2.
Yeah, and I was listening to another podcast that I won't name because I don't want people to jump ship. But they were theorizing that the writing has been on the wall the whole time on this Sony Spider-Man thing, which is why they set Venom in San Francisco instead of New York, because they wanted to get Spider-Man back and have somewhere to send him to deal with Venom, as opposed to take him out of Avengers Town and do it somewhere else, which isn't a bad thought, I guess. But you also remember that it feels like Disney maybe knew this was coming a little bit earlier than we found out, because there were all kinds of rumors that they were going to set up Sinister Six stuff in post-credit scenes for Far From Home, and we know that we didn't get any of that stuff.
That's true. That's true. It's a lot, and these are things that these higher ups have known for a while.
Yeah, and the more that we sit with this news and the more we hear about this news, it feels like Disney is starting, for some stupid reason, to feel pressure because their Fox properties haven't performed well since they bought that. The new parks aren't doing well. Galaxy's Edge isn't doing well. So it feels like maybe got greedy or it was a panic move or something.
Yeah, I think also that, they're sort of feeling like, well, I think they also kind of feel like since they're going to have the X-Men and they're going to have Fantastic Four, I think they're sort of feeling themselves a little bit heavier where it's like, you know what? We love Spidey, but we don't need Spidey. But the thing is, Spider-Man belongs in the MCU. He is too important to too many storylines.
I get it, but at the same time, I also understand Sony because he's officially overcome everything else that they own to become the biggest franchise that they have. So
yeah, even when they've screwed him up, they've done great things. And that's a testament. I think it's a testament more to the character.
Oh, for sure. He's one of the most popular characters in the MCU for sure.
I'm serious. If you would have asked kids when I was little, well, who's your favorite superhero? Superman, Batman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. What's really wild, and it's something that I just started thinking about today. So Spider-Man made 5 appearances in the MCU.
Yes, he did.
And Sony only made money off of 2 of them.
Okay.
They didn't make any money off of the team-up films.
Right. They only made money off of the solo films.
Right.
And those solo films made a lot of money.
They did, but I can understand wanting not to part with money, especially because Disney makes so much off merchandising. And Disney is going to keep making money off merchandising. They just announced a Spider-Man ride at D23,
Well, yeah, because Sony only owns the rights to Spider-Man in the movies.
Right.
Disney owns Spider-Man overall.
Right.
They just own him for movies.
Yeah.
So
the more I think about it, the more it feels like Disney's the one being a little bit greedy here.
Yeah, I think it's column A,
column B.
A little bit of column A, column B. Because the ones that lose out on this are the fans.
Right.
Those of us who want to see Secret Wars, those of us who want to see Spider-Man interact with the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four was very, very important to Spider-Man in his early iterations.
Yeah.
On the pages. So we're going to lose out on a ton of that. And you also lose out on another potential spin-off series from X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man, and that's the Amazing Friends, the Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar team up. Yeah. And then you also lose out on another potential franchise and a Spider-Man Human Torch team up.
You know who my favorite of the Amazing Friends was?
Firestar?
Chandler.
I
liked his sense of humor.
I love his dry witticisms.
Right.
Chandler would have fit so well in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, he really would have. Can I throw this ball any further?
He would have been Uncle Chandler instead of Uncle Rico. Right. That would have been so great. Hey, Uncle Chandler.
Oh man!
Speaking of football.
Speaking of Napoleon Dynamite, Brian, Napoleon Dynamite, the episode of the Plotaholics podcast for Napoleon Dynamite went up yesterday.
And we're doing pretty good so far, actually. Yeah. Say Anything kind of its performance was a little bit surprising, but, still okay. And Napoleon Dynamite is really nipping at the bit of Say Anything right now.
Yeah, it's and I maintain that at this particular stage in the Plotaholics podcast life, we are building a back catalog, and it's because people will come to the show as they come to it, and then they'll have a lot of episodes. I've done that. I've found a podcast that I enjoy, and I've gone back and listened to a lot of old episodes, and you'll notice that some of them, like Grosse Point Blank, still picks up a listen every now and then.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing too. And I sort of remind myself of that as well, is that, we're building that back.
Well, and the other thing is I think that as a young podcast, we've overperformed in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so when we have an episode that kind of takes a little bit of a listener dive, like you can't let it get you down too much, because because that's kind of like reverting back to the mean, like Patrick Mahomes is going to do this year.
Yeah, I see Patrick Mahomes taking a bit of a dip this year.
I think so,
but not Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to have a career year. I'm calling.
Yeah. So
yeah, but we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we always do that.
This
It's
isn't
going to be a sports
show.
thing. It's going to be a sports thing occasionally. Everybody just
I
get
think
used
so
to it.
because we're both big football fans. Even though I really want to protest the NFL, but I can't because I love my Steelers.
Yeah. Where do you want to start, man? Like, where do
you know what?
want to start?
Let's go with the name, man. Let's get in some Star Wars.
Star Wars. All right. We got Lucasfilm news out of D23.
Oh my god, it is so exciting.
Yeah, let's not bury the lead on this thing. I've got the Mandalorian trailer queued up. I guess we should start there.
Yes. How can we not?
How can we not?
Even though I made fun of the poster. I made fun of the initial poster. Yeah, I'm sorry. You bring that up. It looks like the Short Circuit movie poster, minus like lightning. It really does.
Right.
At least to me. I might just be dumb, but that's what it looks like.
What if we do? Oh, we can't do that. That won't do it. Sorry.
That's all right.
I can't add lightning to it without.
It'd be cool if you did.
Right. But yeah, so the Mandalorian trailer premiered this weekend. So let's.
And that's going to probably be my first binge on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So let's take a gander at this. You've got volume on your end.
Yep. Oh, get the chills.
Yeah, this thing looks good.
Carl Weathers. Good to see Apollo Creed is, dealing with that death thing well.
I love those chicks with the tentacles on their heads.
Twi'leks? Oh yeah, Twi'leks are awesome.
They're hot, man.
They are. Ah, there's my dog. It's the mirror. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
That was so. Did you see that behind the back?
Yeah.
Oh. Boba. Oh, just look at his carbonite prison.
Bro.
Dude. Yo. How can you not get Disney Plus now? Bro.
Yeah, it is. That is some wild shit that we like. They are sparing no expense on the
Jon Favreau. I will erect a statue in your honor, bro. Oh my
God. Take another look at this section that you were talking about.
Oh, I love the Stormtrooper heads on pikes, man. That is such a gritty take. Look at that.
Is that IG-88?
All I know is that's a bad motherfucker, boy.
The production value on this thing is wild.
It really is. Oh my goodness. Dude, Disney has spared no expense. I am so excited. That was a Samuel L. Jackson of droids, baby.
Yeah.
I swear, man. I didn't think another droid would be able to like top HK from Knights of the Old Republic. Yo, HK, you might be replaced, bro. Oh my God. That looks so amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
And I hope that we have no Force users in this. I really do.
Right.
But
yeah.
Even if we do, it's got to be minimalized. Because here's the thing. In the Old Republic, the Mandalorians, their battle prowess made them be able to stand up to the Jedi.
Right.
The Jedi were not just unbeatable. The Mandalorians could stand up to them. They actually invented vibro blades so they could go hand to hand with Jedi.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this thing, and I wasn't sure. You worry a little bit about what quality is like, if there's going to be like a dip in quality whenever you move from the screen to the television.
Absolutely.
But Disney is clearly going to break the bank to roll out. They're not playing. No, they're coming for you, Netflix. They come.
I guarantee you that The Mandalorian is finally going to make up for that abysmal Solo film.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Solo. Solo had some interesting points, but that was the prequel movie that we didn't need. No one asked for.
Completely agree.
And this is going to make up for it. And we got Jon Favreau at the helm. Dude, Jon Favreau is just the man. And this looks so good. They have an amazing cast. I didn't even notice when I first watched this that Carl Weathers was oh my God, Apollo Creed. Oh, baby. Oh my God. It is just it's bringing the excitement out of me. Why isn't it November yet?
Right. And speaking of Disney Plus and Star Wars, it was finally confirmed at D23 that your boy is coming back.
That is my dog. My favorite part of the original prequel trilogy. My favorite part. Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan Kenobi. If there was one guy that would be able to capture the essence of
I'm with you, Joe. I think Werner Herzog is hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But seriously, though, man, Ewan McGregor did such an amazing job taking what Sir Alec Guinness did in the original trilogy. And not only did it translate, he did his own thing. He made it his own. Yeah. He is the one bit of consistency besides Vader from the prequels that ties into the original series. Yeah. The fact that Ewan McGregor is coming back to be Obi-Wan, I'm excited. It's such a great time to be a Star Wars fan again. It's like Lucasfilms looked at Marvel and was like, I see you, little kid. I see you, little kid. Now hold my blue milk.
What they've done,
how Big Daddy does it.
They have found a way to they've found a way to, I think, bring some of the fandom that they've lost with the sequel trilogy, and I think that a lot of the beef that people have with the sequel trilogy is bullshit. But
I agree.
I was getting ready
to rage out a little.
Yeah, but he I think is between him and the Mandalorian. I think that a lot of the fanboys are going to come back.
Here's what I hope, though. Number one, those fanboys that left because of the sequel trilogy. And for the fact that Rey is the central figure.
Oh, yeah, they can stay going for all I care.
Yeah, and because you have John Boyega, and for part two, and for the second one, all the He-Man woman-hating Nazi douchebags, stay the fuck away from the Holy Saga. Stay away from it. I don't want you there. We don't want you there. We, the real Star Wars fans, don't want you there, and you can kiss my entire black ass. Yeah. As far as those who have felt that the overall quality of writing, if you've got an issue with the overall quality of writing,
if you had an issue with just if you're one of the people that were like, I didn't like The Force Awakens because it was a retread, and I didn't like The Last Jedi because it changed things too much. If you're in one of those two camps, then this is probably where you want to find your next Star Wars fix.
Exactly. If you're not, and the thing is, it ain't for everyone, and I get that. And if you didn't like the changes, or because honestly, I it's hard for me to really understand what those camps are talking about.
Yeah.
Because everything that was used, granted, all right, yeah, I can understand the argument of The Force Awakens being a reboot of A New Hope. Totally get it. Totally understandable. But I mean, I heard a lot of people saying, how could Luke be able to do that? It's actually in the books, and a force projection is not a new thing.
Right.
However, if you just didn't like how the overall writing went and blah, 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 okay, cool.
Yeah.
But these are going to be worth all of it.
Yeah.
If you feel that there was a dip in quality, because I believe, well, you and I didn't know each other when Disney bought Star Wars, but I'm sure you and I would have been in agreement that we were worried that Disney would actually sort of drop some of the quality ball.
I was never worried that I always knew that it would look good and that, that they've got the money, but I was interested in what they would do with it. And, I think that's something that tends to get lost because of the current age of the original Star Wars fans is that Star Wars has always been a franchise for kids.
Right.
Adults also enjoyed.
Right. And the thing is, even the original movies didn't have great writing.
No.
George Lucas isn't a great writer. He's not great with dialogue.
In fact, what really screwed the prequels up was that he all of a sudden decided to take himself really seriously. And the original trilogy is full of this like tongue-in-cheek camp, and whenever they tried to bring that back in the new trilogy, people were slamming it, and I was like, "What original trilogy did you watch?"
Yeah, like, the original trilogy is not The Godfather and Godfather 2.
No, it's fun because of that. You know?
Yeah, I think what people see from it is that it was a cinematic masterpiece, and it was a big deal for the time because this was when like sci-fi movies could actually look epic on an epic scale.
Yeah, and it was that moment where, and it's something that I'm not sure we will ever have again, where we go to the theater and we see something that we have never seen before, like that completely changes the way we watch movies.
And that's never going to happen again.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have that.
The only time that's going to happen is if they have a film experience where it's completely submersible.
Right, like a hologram sort of thing.
Yeah, where you're like in it. Yeah. Like for me, the new,
and I don't want to be in it. Like
neither do I.
I just, in it.
The most I want to be in it is when I decide to spend the extra money for 3D.
Yeah, and
that's the most
then, like, and 3D's come a long way, so I'm not going to hate on it like I used to, but
it used to give me migraines to the point where I couldn't even enjoy it.
I wasn't down with it. Let's push forward into the really exciting news here on the rise of Skywalker.
Oh God, that poster is art. It is so beautiful. Look at how the reds and the blues. Now, granted, it's like the blue overshadows the red a little bit. I would have liked to have seen it be more 50-50.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy that. And I think it could be done on purpose because there is still good and some conflict within both
of them.
Yeah. And I love Sidious being in the background.
And okay, so we're going to talk a lot in just a minute about whether or not Rey is really going to go evil. But what do you notice about the colors here? Who else is blue in this shot?
Oh, that would be the Dark Lord Sidious.
Yeah.
He's also kind of blue. Well, here's what I'm calling right now. Well, for one, I don't want to be too gross, but that dark Rey, do you have that? Do you have that pulled up?
I don't have give me just 1 second.
That dark Rey is, oh my God, it is so fantastic. It is amazing.
Let's see what we got.
It looks so great. Oh God, look at this.
And then you want to get the little kick out.
Oh.
It's just so fast.
I swear, if Daisy Ridley knocked on my door right now and just said now.
Yeah.
She is, well, see, now Sharon has 2 hall passes. Jordan Knight and John Bon Jovi.
Okay.
I always said Taylor Swift.
Wait, who's the first one?
Jordan Knight.
From the New Kids on the Block?
Yes. Jordan Knight and John Bon Jovi.
When was the last time she updated her list?
No, dude. Hey, Jordan Knight he's still a handsome guy. He's a handsome dude still.
I know, it feels dated.
Well,
I mean, even Bon Jovi. I mean,
don't let her hear you say that. She might attack you at the
wedding. Yeah, I know.
And I always said Taylor Swift was one for me, and my other was TBD.
Yeah, well, here you
no
go.
Longer. Dark Side Rey, Daisy Ridley is my number 2.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, she has been so amazing in this series. She has grown. Her talent is just showing more and more. I really hope that she can translate this and transition this into other roles in the future. Yeah. I hope she does it, because the thing is with Mark Hamill, as amazing as he was as Luke Skywalker, when it came to the live action, he wasn't able to translate well. He did really, really great with voiceovers.
Yeah.
And as the trickster, and he basically played the trickster in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
And I'm not sure that he wanted to do anything else. I mean, that's something that we would have to ask him,
Right. But I really hope that Daisy Ridley can carry over like Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher did.
Yeah.
But she is so great. I cannot wait for Rise of Skywalker. I am going to be there opening night for Rise of Skywalker.
Well, and everyone here is free to tune in to our very special Rise of Skywalker podcast, which will air the Monday after Rise of Skywalker releases.
We will be doing it, and it will be we haven't discussed it, or we did. I don't remember because I've been hitting the head a lot. Is that going to be a spoiler episode or no?
That's a spoiler episode.
It will be a spoiler episode. So, guys, we're telling you now, 4 months in advance.
You better watch that shit
before
Monday after it releases. So,
or be like me and not care about spoilers because you want to have your own experience.
Yeah.
So it's going to be amazing. Dark. I'm calling this right now. I'm calling it right now. You ready, Shane?
I'm ready.
Rey is a clone of the Emperor. Rey is a clone of the Emperor. She is the Emperor's hand.
Yeah.
And that Dark Rey is the one clone that didn't get away. Her parents got the baby, ran away with her to get her away.
Yeah.
And that was the one that was able to stick around.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm tracking with you.
All right. Track with me, brother.
Because it sounds like what you're proposing is that we're going to have multiple Reys.
We're going to at least have 2.
You're going to have 2. Is Rey going to parent trap us?
I think she might, because here's the thing. In the old expanded universe, Palpatine had multiple clones.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker, I call him Luke Skywalker.
Luke.
Dark Luke.
Yeah.
Was a clone that was created by the Emperor.
That's an interesting thought, man. I mean, I have thought since we knew that Palpatine was coming back, I have thought that she would probably be related to him in some way. And I believe that you're going to see Kylo do the flip to the light side.
You think so?
I think so. I think that you're going to see Kylo have sort of a similar redemption arc to Vader in this thing.
You know what I kind of hope happens? I kind of hope that the Emperor comes back and Dark Rey messes him up good, and he ends up being Vader 2.0.
Here's what I hope happens for real.
For Rizzle?
1, I hope that Vader has found a way to implant himself into Threepio, and that's why Threepio's eyes are red. And I hope that Threepio has an epic lightsaber duel with the Emperor while Jedi Rey fights Dark Rey and Kylo Ren
at the same time
in a Darth Maul type fight.
That would be awesome. Oh, I could just hear Lawrence from Office Space. You know what I'd do if I had 1 million credits? 2 steps at the same time, man. Figure if I had 1 million credits.
The movie is going to be wild, and it's going to. I have to believe it's going to be damn near 3 hours long.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm calling it right now too. Rey and Finn are gonna have a love shack, baby.
You think so? Finn,
no.
Not Poe?
Actually, you know what I think? I think Finn is gonna continue. Finn is gonna either end up with Rey
and Rose.
It's either gonna be Rose or Rey. And if it's not Rey, Rey is just gonna be by herself.
Although, for real, if Finn and Poe Dameron make out in this movie, I'm going to stand up in the theater and just pee all over all the fanboys.
You want to talk about trolling the fan? If they did that is the ultimate troll job right there.
Absolutely, it is.
Hey, I don't really care, man. I mean, hey, in a galaxy far, far away, man, you've got sort
of their bromance. I think is designed to troll people a little bit.
I think so.
I don't think they're going to go that far, but I think that it's there to troll people.
I agree, and I'll tell you something. I don't see why people have an issue with that bromance. They didn't care enough about Han and Chewie.
Right? Yeah, and that's an animal.
Yeah. Hey, Wookiees are sentient beings, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I'm super stoked for Disney Plus. I am super stoked for Star Wars, everything Star Wars related.
You mentioned Disney Plus, and we might as well. I just pulled a couple of things here.
Yeah, let's Disney Plus.
we've got. I don't even know what I'm most excited about on this list.
Okay.
That's a lie. I 100% know what I'm most excited about, and
Me.
that is The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, yeah. Because can I just be honest with you right now? I don't give a flying frog fuck on a frosty Friday morning about High School Musical. Musical.
Okay. So here's the thing. About High School Musical. I don't care about it either, right? At all. But I think that the series thing is really funny because it's called High School Musical, the series. And it's about a high school that is performing High School Musical, the musical. And I think that's really funny. And they're supposedly like leaning into like the Office style mockumentary sort of brand.
Okay,
and I think
I could probably get down with that. I retract my previous statement if that's
I think that's really funny. Yeah. But
I'll
now,
retract that. But
anytime I can get more Jeff Goldblum, I'm down with it.
Oh my God. We need more Jeff Goldblum like we need more cowbell. And we always need more cowbell.
Always need more cowbell. And of course,
Pittsburgh's own Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, there you go. And always loving anytime we can get more, animals in the mix.
Lady and the Tramp's going to be great. I loved Lady and the Tramp as a kid. Lady and the Tramp and what the hell was? Oh, look at that cute.
Yeah, this trailer I think was released over the weekend as well.
Oh, I haven't even had a chance to see this yet.
Yeah,
so cute. Lady and the Tramp and Sleeping Beauty were my favorite.
Yeah, really happy that they went with rescue dogs for Lady and the Tramp and not CGI.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously some CGI, but
can I just say that I'm also glad that the racist Siamese cats are not going to be involved.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, because those cats just
Disney has learned a lot since the Siamese cats and since the crows in Dumbo,
Yeah, and I'm glad because we don't need those things. Oh, look at that cute little cock block.
But this looks beautiful, and I don't know why. I mean, obviously they're just looking for content for Disney Plus, but I don't know why they don't put this in theaters.
Because I think that they've already got a lot of stuff coming in theaters already, and that have been getting sort of panned for the unoriginality. I mean, granted, because you look at Dumbo didn't do too well. Lion King has been getting slammed, and I mean I think, and even was it Beauty and the Beast was okay, but it wasn't setting the world on fire.
Right, they're not critical darlings, but they're all making a bunch of money.
Yeah, but the only one that was a real major darling was Aladdin.
Aladdin is still rotten on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, because Rotten Tomatoes
it just made a bunch of money. But Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast are both in the top 10 grossers of all time, adjusted for inflation. So they're making money doing these things. They're popular with audiences.
All right, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just that they realize, though, that they are just trying to pad for their content, and I'm okay.
I think that movie looks beautiful, though.
It really does, and honestly, I think the animation for for Lady and Tramp and all the other animals looks better than it does for
100% agree. Yeah, give me a Fox and the Hound that looks like that.
Oh, man, yes,
let's get classic.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? Why don't you just give me a Chip and Dale and the Rescue
Rangers? How about let's get a freaking Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
that.
Disney own Milo and Otis?
Oh, that sounds right. Maybe not. It might be a Warner Brothers property.
Oh, I love Milo and Otis, man.
I want a shot I just want them to go back and take the same Homeward Bound and remaster it.
Same voices?
Yeah, same voices and just animate it a little bit with the new technology. Because the movie is so good. Do not remake Homeward Bound.
No. Just do it shot for shot, exactly the same, with the same voices. Get me Sally Field, get me Michael J. Fox, get me the other guy.
Use the same track.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Don't even re-record that shit.
Secret of Nymph, absolutely.
I'm there for that.
Matter of fact, you know what? Disney should just buy Princess Mononoke and do it too.
Disney should just buy everything.
Yeah. I mean, hey, why not? Just have it be Disney and Sony so that there's no just have these super conglomerates.
Yeah, just let it be Disney and Sony so that we can never have Spider-Man in the MCU again. In fact, you know what Sony should do? Here's a real troll move, master level troll move.
Okay.
You enter into talks as your Sony, right? To sell your studio to Disney. The month before it goes through, you sell Spider-Man to Microsoft. Or Apple. Like
such a dick move. Dick move, Banner.
All right. Speaking of the MCU, we've got some Marvel Studios news out of D23 as well.
And I'm super excited about some of these announcements. We did see some early footage and a poster for Black Widow, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, or sell them to Netflix. You're right.
Could you imagine selling Spider? And then they could bring Luke Cage back.
Yeah, they'll just bring their whole thing back.
Oh God, that would be hilarious.
But yeah, go ahead.
So we got some really, really good footage from Black Widow. It was more exclusive footage, but from what I've heard from the people that were there, it looks really, really amazing. People were on their edge of their seats for it. So, and obviously, ScarJo is always a seat filler for sure. David Harbour,
it's time. Like it's really been past time for her to have.
Absolutely. Because now, the thing that sucks because they kill her off in Endgame. So now, how are we going to get a Black Widow franchise?
Right.
You ruin that now.
Well, I think I think you're just not going to have a ScarJo.
Well, we won't have Natasha Romanoff because I'm still sort of holding on to the rumor that one of our other female leads, I can't remember her name, but there is another Black Widow
in this film. Yeah, I think they're setting up to pass the torch there,
which will be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
David Harbour, I'm excited to see what he does after the colossal flop of a Hellboy.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how he's gonna.
What a colossal flop!
And then some. Like honestly, I'll catch that shit on Netflix, man. I
don't even know that I will watch it. Period.
I probably won't either, to be honest. I like David Harbour and all, but yeah, he ain't no Ron Perlman.
Yeah. We also let's see. Well, from Marvel, we finally got the gap filled in for Black Panther 2, which was mysteriously missing from their Comic-Con announcements.
Yeah, I'm not happy about having to wait another 3 years for a Black Panther 2. I'm really not. But okay, I get it. Yeah, maybe we will find out what happened in Budapest. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, I think that waiting 3 to 4 years for a movie, for a sequel, is about right. The only time you get them faster than that is like when they do something like Lord of the Rings or something where they film them all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point by you. That's a good point. I just really hope that Ryan Coogler doesn't do, because Creed 2 was I don't want to say Creed 2 was a letdown, but I really feel like Creed 2 could have been a little bit better. So I really hope that he sort of learns his lesson from some of the lackluster bit of Creed 2 and really gets back to Black Panther. I'm wondering, could we see Storm in this? It's early to speculate, but could we see Storm? What more are we going to see? Are we going to get Killmonger back?
Yeah, one of a lot of the rumors that I've heard about Black Panther 2 include the emergence of Namor, which
would be awesome. That would be amazing. I would love to see that because Namor granted, all right, yeah, Namor is he's the Aquaman of Marvel, but he's always gotten way more respect than Aquaman.
Yeah.
And Namor is a great anti-hero, sometimes hero, sometimes villain, because he started out as a villain of the Fantastic Four. But then when you find out why, he's not really a villain at all. He would be a lot like T'Challa was in Captain America Civil War, where he's more of a secondary antagonist, but you understand what his motive, when you understand his motivations, he's not really a bad guy. And that's what Namor is. Namor does his best for his people and everyone else be damned.
Yeah, I think that everything that I've heard it sets that up, but I don't even think there's a script written yet for it. So
Probably not, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see Winston Duke. I'm ready to see the whole gang back. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for it. I'm excited for it.
yeah, we also found that another Game of Thrones actor is going to be joining the MCU.
Kit Harington is going to be Black Knight, and I announced this. I put this up on our page that Kit Harington was joining the MCU. Now, what was funny is that some people were like, "Hey, he might be Wolverine," and it was like, "Ooh, that would be interesting." But I like that he's going to be Black Knight.
Yeah, that Eternals cast is wildly stacked.
It truly is. This Eternals is going to be a game changer, I think, for the MCU.
Because I mean, think about it like this: you have so after the Eternals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have 9 new characters, and if you want to, you can take them all in different directions. They can make all kinds of appearances in different films,
Absolutely.
solo, like standalone films. They can be the Eternals again. They could go over here and fuck around with Black Panther for a little bit, or whatever. You know, like you're gonna have this is
everything in space.
It's like a one-shot, just stimulus package of something like 9 or 10 new characters.
I just hope that they don't. I hope it doesn't flop like what was the show the Inhumans? I hope it doesn't flop like the Inhumans, because the Inhumans was trying to do so much.
Man, I mean, there's that worry that, you know, the Avengers worked because we already knew all of those characters, and so they didn't have to set all of them up for us.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Marvel has shown us that they can introduce a lot of people at one time and do well with it. So
right. Well, they can also even do TV shows on a Black Knight and a Hawkeye team up would be good. Yeah. But they could also put something on Disney Plus to set up the movies as well, which is what they're going to be doing with their content on Disney Plus.
Yeah, anyway. WandaVision and
Bucky. Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then of course with 3 additional new shows that are going to be coming this time around as well. Ms. Marvel, who is an amazing character, and Shane and I were talking about it off air. Ms. Marvel could be the character that sort of replaces Peter Parker as the quirky teenager. She-Hulk, who is one of my favorite characters. I've been clamoring for She-Hulk for years. She-Hulk. Now, here's the thing. A friend of mine put up a thread on his Facebook about people that are whining about comics that know nothing about comics. Ew, why you make the Hulk a girl? Guess what, dicks? She-Hulk has been a character and a main staple for the last 40 years, okay?
Yeah.
She-Hulk is the cousin, Jennifer Walters, the cousin of Bruce Banner, and he donates blood to her because she was shot, and she becomes She-Hulk. Yeah. And she is, to me, one of the real important female characters in Marvel comics.
100% chance that Ruffalo is in at least the first episode of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Ruffalo loves being Banner. He loves being the Hulk. So I definitely see that.
He might even have a big part in that show, honestly.
I could see that. Now, a lot of people have been speculating who they want to be She-Hulk. I've seen Gina Carano's name getting thrown out there. I have even seen Rosario Dawson's name thrown out there. And you're right, Anita. She was a key member of the Fantastic Four when Ben Grimm left the team. She's also a major player in the Avengers. Yeah. So She-Hulk is a very important character, and I'm very glad that she's coming to the MCU. And she's a huge deal in Secret Wars.
Right. And if you are building toward another one of these huge event films like Endgame, imagine the roster of characters that we can have this time around. Like, it's going to be wild. Especially with all the work that they're doing on Disney Plus to introduce new stories.
Absolutely. You know, and Ms. Marvel is an amazing character. She's a very diverse character. And then Moon Knight, who to me is like a more mystical Batman of the Marvel universe, who's also a little bit insane.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like we're getting a little bit of Batman with a very, very toned down Joker.
Yeah, I want to have a moment for these logos. I think these are killer logos.
Yeah, look at that Moon Knight logo. It's very well done. I love the She-Hulk. I love the font that they use. I love the throwback to the purple and green. I love the font, and Ms. Marvel just looks really good because when you hear Ms. Marvel, you're like, oh wow, it's a Captain Marvel ripoff. No, she's her own character, and the logo shows it. This is amazing, man. Marvel is coming up.
They're so good at branding; it's ridiculous.
They really are. Kudos, man. And Feige, we trust.
Yeah,
I think he's loading us down with so much killer stuff that he's trying to make sure that we don't even miss Spider-Man. And Anita's right. Moon Knight is a great character. He's a great street level character. And I think having Moon Knight, I think Doctor Doom coming as an end credit scene in Black Panther 2 would be great.
And that's about the right pace to introduce the next big bad, because that's 2022 is like probably, and I haven't looked at the timeline, sort of in the back end of phase 4. Yeah. So and that's about
start leading us into.
Yep, and that's about when they introduce Thanos.
Absolutely,
in the first round. So,
and I think that's going to be great. And I think having Doctor Doom be the reason that Namor and Black Panther are at odds, that's going to be great, and that can lead us into the Fantastic Four and somehow getting us to the X-Men. And I'm excited that this is going to be really good. These. The last 10 years have been a great time to be a geek.
It's true. Yes, things have really turned around.
And I think the next 10 years is going to be a great time as well.
Yeah. Well, Bryan, this brings us to a brand spanking new segment. We'll get that. Fantastic Four is the last movie on the timeline right now.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Brand spanking new segment. We're calling this the Lightning Round.
Come on, Lightning Round. Give me another sound. We get wild, wild, wild. Lightning round.
Yes, the lightning round, where the theme song is longer than the segment. Just kidding. We can't do anything very fast on this show, as you probably have already figured out. But we've collected a handful of other stories that we wanted to touch on. But we couldn't necessarily spend our normal amount of time on them because of all of the stuff that we got out of
D23 just took up way too much time.
Yeah. So leading us off here, 2 bits of SNL news, Bryan. Breaking just before we came on, the fact that Leslie Jones is probably leaving SNL.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched Saturday Night Live for 20 years. But Leslie Jones she's a good actor. She's hilarious. I loved her. She was probably one of the better parts of that abysmal Ghostbusters remake. So, that's going to suck. However, I do want to take a second to sort of trash talk H. Alan Scott and or saying in Newsweek that Leslie Jones leaving Saturday Night Live is a national tragedy. No, it's not.
Yeah.
9/11 was a national tragedy. Okay.
Donald Trump is a national tragedy.
Yeah, Donald Trump is a national tragedy.
That's
Leslie Jones making a business decision to move on with her career is not a national tragedy.
Maybe we would get more traction if we said bullshit stuff like that more often.
Yeah. You know what? I think that Peter Parker, Spider-Man not being in Marvel is a global tragedy. Who cares about the Amazon rainforest? We're not going to have Spider-Man.
Yeah. And it is a rite of passage for SNL for sure. The rumors leading into the season were that Kate McKinnon was going to be the one going, but it looks like she's sticking around.
Yeah.
And thank God, I love Kate McKinnon. But all of these,
awesome.
Leslie Jones, we looked at before we came on tonight, has 2 movies in pre-production. She's already filming Coming to America 2. She's just had the Angry Birds 2 come out where she did voice work. So Leslie Jones doing pretty good work.
She's gonna be okay.
And she probably just doesn't have time for the next year to dedicate to.
Absolutely. SNL is a grueling schedule.
Yeah. So good for Leslie Jones. I feel like most of the time when you leave SNL, you're leaving because you've got some pretty good stuff in the work. It may not all pan out, but
you've got something going.
Yeah, you've got something.
And I'm sorry, one of the biggest tragedies to SNL to lose a cast member was Phil Hartman's murder.
True that. Next SNL news, Eddie Murphy, who we've been talking about a lot lately.
A couple weeks, yeah. He's coming back for the first time in 35 years to host SNL. And he had been on the outs with SNL for a long time after a joke David Spade told about him, when one of his movies tanked, he says, "Look, kids, a falling star." And Murphy was pissed off. Well, I think Murphy's getting the last laugh because what the hell is David Spade doing?
Well, David Spade has a primetime show on Comedy Central right now, a nightly show. Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay. Well, just goes to show I need to watch more television.
Yeah, it's sort of like the anti-Daily Show, where they focus on everything that's not political, and it comes on after the Daily Show.
Okay.
So it took over the Jordan Klepper show that was on for a short period of time. But now I don't know what kind of audience it has, and this is its first season.
Yeah, it's my first time hearing about that.
Yeah, and but David Spade has that going on, but David Spade does not have a $70 million Netflix deal. So,
nope, don't think you ever will.
Nope. I do think David Spade is very funny.
I think he's fun. I think that he's funny, but he needs someone to sort of feed off of, sort of like how he fed off of Farley.
I think that he was really good on that show, Rules of Engagement. A sitcom had 6 or 7 year run. He was good on that, but he had a good cast around him.
Right.
But he, I don't know. I think that I always consider like him, Sandler, and Schneider as sort of a group, and I think he's the funniest out of those three.
Yeah, I can give you that. It's the sarcastic. It's the sarcastic wit about him because you figure Adam Sandler is the clown.
Yeah.
And
Rob Schneider sucks.
Rob Schneider just sucks at life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still remember David Spade when he was on Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. Mm-hmm. David Spade as a skateboarder.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Got some Halloween news.
Anthony Michael Hall. I met him, by the way, at Steel City Con. He is a great guy. Love this guy. I will see anything he's in. He is going to be in the Halloween Kills, the sequel to last fall's Halloween, which is amazing. He's actually going to be playing the role of Tommy. Right? Yeah, Tommy. He's going to be the kid that Jamie Lee Curtis was babysitting the night that
absolutely destroy the timeline, because you know who played that kid earlier in Halloween Resurrection? Not Halloween Resurrection, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, which was Halloween.
Paul Rudd.
That's right. So, and rumors were circulating that Rudd was being courted to come back, but either he said no, or it just didn't work out, or it was all a lie.
Well, he's Ant-Man. He ain't got time for that.
No.
He's like Sweet Brown. He ain't got time for that.
No. And now he's like, he's Ant-Man. There's no Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's Ant-Man. We need a bug guy.
And we got him.
Yeah. So he's ours. You can't take him.
I'm excited about this iteration of Halloween being a trilogy.
I am as well. I still need to watch. I still need to watch it because Sharon won't go see horror movies. So I'm gonna have to.
The original Halloweens. We'll be covering Halloween 1978.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait.
But yeah, I haven't seen this one either. I sort of got disillusioned with them during the Rob Zombie years.
You didn't like the Rob Zombie ones?
They were fine, but I liked the original. Look, I liked the original run minus Season of the Witch, right? Like,
I knew you were going to say that.
I was there for Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6. Those are I love those movies. Mm-hmm. Even though 4, 5, and 6 are panned by a lot of people as not being very good. I loved the the storyline of like the little kid, like the little niece, I guess.
Yeah. And the Circle of the Thorn, and
that was so cool to me. But at the same time, I discovered those movies at the right age, and my brain was still like wide open to any possibility.
Right.
So I was into that shit. But yeah, I want to give these a shot because of so many of the original people being involved. I thought they did Jamie Lee Curtis dirty in Halloween Resurrection.
Halloween H2O as well, man. I mean, I'm glad that they sort of just retconned everything, and it was just like, this is how we want it.
The Halloween timeline is now more complicated than the Star Wars timeline. And yeah, Donald Pleasance,
yeah. It's more crazy than the Fox X-Men timeline.
Yeah. So this is a story that you pulled, Brian.
The Mr. Mom trip. Now, this is going to be interesting because I'm a big fan of the original Mr. Mom, starring Pittsburgh's own Michael Keaton. originally.
Everybody is Pittsburgh's own.
Hey, if they're from Pittsburgh, they belong to us.
I hear you.
So so this is going to be interesting. It's a little bit of a different take because in the original, for those who don't know, in the original, it's a flip. It's a swap because you figure the original came out in about 1982. We were still dealing with recession back then, especially with the car manufacturing jobs leaving America and going more overseas. The Jack Butler character, played by Michael Keaton, was a car maker, and he lost his job. So his wife got back into the workforce. She was able to find a job first. So he was kind of forced to do it because he couldn't get a job. In this modern iteration, he's going into it by choice. Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's okay, but I kind of like the idea of the original where it had to be for family survival. But I'm very, very interested to see how this is going to work out. It's going to be on Vudu, which is a free service. I'm pretty sure we'll probably be able to watch this free with ads, which is fine by me. So I'm going to be checking this out. I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Vudu is
I have it on my phone.
Voodoo. I just realized.
I'm not the one.
No, so Vudu is like just I don't know, man. Like it's just another place to go. And if I'm not paying for it, then I don't know that I'm gonna go there.
I hear you.
But do they have other original content?
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but here's the thing.
You know what Vudu reminds me of is do you remember when Yahoo tried to do their streaming service?
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah, I can hear. Well, see, Vudu was a part of Flickr at one point.
And Vudu comes up sometimes. I might even have it on my Xbox, honestly, but I don't.
I've got it on my phone. Like I'm looking at some of my stuff. I own some movies on Vudu from before. The original Austin Powers, Batman Gotham Knight, which I actually got for free. Like when it was on Flickr a long time, or Ultraviolet, or whatever the hell that was. Blow, Michael Clayton, Sleepwalkers, Dark. So I have some stuff on there. So that's the only reason why I really have Vudu.
Yeah,
is because of things that I already own.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for this one to beat the Keaton thing. And here's this goes back to what we talked about when Chucky came out. Like if you're gonna reboot a movie and you're gonna drastically change the plot, then just don't reboot the movie. Just make a new movie.
Exactly, and let people.
This doesn't have to be Mr. Mom.
No, just call it Family Swap or something.
Right? Yeah, call it Stay-at-Home Dad. Like
there you go. There you go. You got it.
I mean, if you're freaking putting it on Vudu, then you're not trying to compete with anything in the theater anyway. No, just call it Stay-at-Home Dad and make a good trailer for it. People will watch it if they want to. But don't try to make it this. Don't try to make that, because the reboot culture is really just trying to capitalize on the popularity of the old one, like the nostalgia, right? That's what we talked about before.
That's exactly what they're doing. And the fact of the matter is, Mr. Mom it's a comedy classic. It's a John Hughes classic, but it's almost 40 years old. It's a 38-year-old movie. Not enough people are going to know it to be able to appreciate it.
Right.
So you're just wasting your time.
Now, final story in the lightning round today is the revelation this week that the Breaking Bad film that has long been rumored to be coming to Netflix is done and coming in October.
This is pretty interesting. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't really that into. I didn't get into Breaking Bad. I'm still going to go on Netflix and try to watch. I'm hoping that I'll have a supernatural moment, meaning I tried watching Supernatural 3 times, couldn't get into it, and then the 4th time it stuck. So
I'll tell you,
that'll happen with
I love Breaking Bad, but I had to start it twice.
Okay.
And if you can get through the first, it's like a lot of shows, right? If you can get through the first season, which is short, it's only like 6 episodes, which is an investment because they're hour long. But if you can get through the first one, man, like it starts to hum. And I put Breaking Bad right up there with my top favorite shows of all time.
Wow.
It is remarkable. And man, Bryan Cranston is unreal.
Well, Bryan Cranston's a great actor anyway. I've never ever denied that. I wouldn't even think to try to deny that.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to October.
I'll try. Now, is this going to take place after the show?
Yeah, it's after the show. It sort of focuses on the Jesse Pinkman character.
Now that's the kid that was making meth with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's really going to follow him after the events of Breaking Bad.
So should I try watching? Should I get through Breaking Bad before I watch the movie?
I would.
Okay. Now, what about that Better Call Saul? Do I need to watch that too?
Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad, and no, I don't think you have to watch that before you.
How about this? You watch the movie and you tell me what I need to do.
I'll do it, man. You know I will.
I'll give it a try.
I'll take care of you.
All right, cool. I'll give it a try. One more thing that I forgot to add for our lightning round. Dave Chappelle has a new stand-up special on Netflix. It dropped yesterday. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I plan on watching it probably Thursday because tonight I'm going to be watching Independence Day for our podcast. We'll be recording that tomorrow, which will drop on Monday. Yep. So maybe on Thursday.
I will tell you this, man. I don't know if you've heard anything about it. But Dave Chappelle comes for PC culture in this episode, man.
Oh,
like when I was watching, Dave Chappelle has always been unapologetic in his comedy. Mm-hmm. But when I was watching this one, I was like, there's maybe like 10 minutes of the special that is safe from someone having a problem with it. But I enjoyed it. It was good. And, he's still sharp. He's still good. He's still Dave Chappelle. The logic of his jokes is still sound,
It's almost like he's not being offensive to be offensive. He actually has good points. And that's what I've always liked about his comedy.
Yeah. And so, it is interesting to hear him in this, in the current climate, be unapologetically himself, because we've heard a ton of comics like Seinfeld come out and say that, it's hard to do comedy shows now because of PC culture and everything. Mm-hmm. But Dave
give a shit.
Dave Chappelle has this moment where he's like, I've been doing comedy for over 20 years. You've had every opportunity in the world to hear what I have to say, and you still clicked on my face.
See, I can't wait for Eddie Murphy's stand-up because Eddie Murphy is going to be bringing it raw.
Well, he already brought it raw.
Yeah, well, he's going to bring it even more raw.
That's right.
It's going to still be alive.
Yeah, but I like this. This Chappelle special is not the best of the new 5 that we've gotten from Netflix.
Okay.
I still think, God, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the one where it was in a small club.
Oh, yeah, it was one of the first 2 that he had come out a couple years ago.
It was. I got the name for it. It says something about a bird.
I'm like a bird. I want to fly away. Oh yeah, there's Sticks, and I love how it says Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones, politically incorrect.
Yeah, it's called The Bird Revelation is the one that I liked. The Bird Revelation has this just really great bit at the end where he uses a book by Pimp in the mid 20th century called his name is Iceberg Slim. Mm-hmm. The book's called American Pimp, and and he uses this story to inadvertently tell why he left Comedy Central.
I remember that. It was funny. Yeah, you guys got to check that out because it's hilarious.
And we'll talk about Sticks and Stones soon, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, hey man, we're up against it here.
We're up against it. We did pretty good this week.
Remember everybody that starting on Monday, which is Labor Day, you are going to be able to participate in Will Smith Timber.
Woo! The Smithening. I'm still calling it the Smithening. I don't know why. We're gonna have our next big event, which is gonna focus on the summer blockbusters of the only Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air himself. And he's, we're going to start off this Monday with Independence Day. That's going to be, what the hell day is Monday? What's like the number?
First or the second?
It's the second. And then on 9/9, September 9th, Mr. Jones and Mr. Smith will be with us. Men in Black. The first one, not the second one. Okay. The first
not
one.
International.
Yeah, definitely not international. We're staying as far away from that train wreck as humanly possible.
But the most important thing for everybody to note is that moving forward, the podcast posts every Monday, not every other Monday.
Right. It's going to be every Monday. So make sure you You follow us and subscribe to us on your various podcast features, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, or iTunes, whatever the hell they're called.
Just search Plotaholics and we will pop up.
Search Plotaholics and we will pop up. You also notice if you want to follow us on social media, we don't have time for me to rant about it, but we're done with Twitter. Don't get me started. I'll bitch about it later. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. Just search Plotaholics. You'll find us.
Or visit plotaholics.com and that'll link you up to everything
absolutely
that you need from us. But and make sure wherever you're watching right now, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications button, and
hit the share button as well.
If you enjoy it, tell somebody.
Absolutely. Spread the word because we ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
All right.
For the Plotaholics, then I guess I'm Shane Wilson.
And I'm Bryan Tan.
We'll talk to you real soon.
We're the Plotaholics, ripping plots apart for you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.